Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woohoo wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing the house. And I come to do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? Man, let me get my water together, man. So we can get this program started right. Float it off to the damn cosmos, man. Let's get these people up in here, man. Let's let the guests come on in here, man. Look, let's start this Friday off right, man. Show some love, man. Y'all guys show some love. We will make sure we get the numbers are moving forward like they're supposed to. Subscriptions is going up, subscribers, and we appreciate that, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Boy, I see we got Gary in the building, man. Pseudo Killer, what's good, man? Hey, we got Space Age, African Astronomy Club, man. What's good with you, man? Anthony Bowman, man. Space Age African in this piece. I see the network. What's up, man? Peanut Gallery for life. Yeah. Blue the Cake. What's up with you? Y'all know what it is, man? Man, we had a powerful night last night, man. If y'all ain't looked at that download, you slipping. You slipping. You slipping. Stop slipping. Bonton, what's up with you? What it do? What it do? What it do? Man, look. It's a good one. Atheism and Science, a perfect storm. They changed it. I ain't put older case on the case. On the case. Fix that in the thing. Yeah, let's get some people up here before we start. This is a good one. Fire. Preem, I see you, man. Preem, get the knowledge. Dollar bill, y'all. Now, you know I appreciate that right there. Botan, man. You new member. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Botan, he has the green glow. The green glow. He has the green glow. Man, we appreciate that membership, man. That membership is very cheap, yo. But it actually accumulates. It's accumulative. We heard that word before. Man, thank you for being a part of the family, man. I'm working on some content that only the members can get to. That's how I'm doing it. We up in our game, man. All day. Yeah, man that chat, man. Bat them out of here. Nah, don't put nobody out, but man the chat. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, the green glow, man. Appreciate that. All right. We ain't got enough people to start nothing. Let me pay some of these bills, man. You know how we gotta do, man. Ain't nothing free around here, yo. We need to get a high subscription on this daggone stream, God. That's for sure. So we got this debate coming up this week. And it's coming. Let me see. The 12th, right? Is the Bible the Word of God, April 12th? It's going down. I'm gonna be there, man, with my notepad, getting it straight. We got two continental Africans that have moved abroad, and this is really about their journey. They don't even know it. They have no idea that this debate right here is about their journey as continental Africans going abroad, man. What they've learned, what they've accepted, and what they have learned to critique. This is what this debate is really all about, and they don't even know it. Where two worlds clash. We're talking culture now. We're talking cultural container. Man, this really puts us right into our presentation, because this presentation is actually about culture. Y'all always think it's about the color of your skin, but it's actually not. It's about the culture. But this debate right here is going to be two cultures will clash. Two continental Africans that, for what I'm thinking in my head, has actually broken away from their cultures, which is okay. Human beings subscribe to different cultures at different time periods in their life. Different ethnicities are very shifty. So I want y'all to understand this particular lecture I'm doing today through a cultural lens, and don't focus on the individual, because you will make the mistake and think I'm dogging African people when I'm actually uplifting them. It's based off of how you understand it. Now, we had a deep conversation in the server. I called it the damn warm up. But you see me right here doing this, man. I like to read this. I used to read it once a year. Now I like to read it maybe once every 2-3 years now. It's old and outdated. But what was it that I got from this? First of all, the man said he don't even know why he a Christian, right here in this book. That was eye-opening. Then he talked about my favorite tribe, the Masi. We got our, this is the 10th, 11th year anniversary, 10th year anniversary coming up. Make sure y'all be there, support me. Back on track with that, right? Let me give you the date for that. Dang. Well, I'm slow, slipping. Man, the world is going on here. Need so much, man. Dang. What's the day? It's on the 11th. Did I miss it? It's tomorrow. Hell no, boy. What time tomorrow? I'm gonna make a multi-screen. Let me see. Let me push this to my email so y'all can show you this. Try and get some people. We got 27,000 in the room. That ain't enough. This the fire. This is shit you go home and tell your mother. Boy, that nigga said this. What he say? Yeah. Let me see if I can get this up here for y'all. I think this is like one of my most important conversations, man, that I'm having for y'all. I see it as being very, very, very informative. And you know, it's kind of my trip. It's what I went through. All right. And, you know, y'all want to fight against white people. In your mind, at least. You ain't busting up with a grape. You're going to take that check, no matter who it's coming from. So don't talk me to death. You're going to turn that bath water on. The hot bath water. You ain't running out to the river, get some water and heat it up with a fire. You're gonna be on your cell phone. You're gonna be on YouTube. Don't talk to me about you at war. You ain't no damn war. The war is raged within. How you understand the world you in, how you dissect culture, how culture influences your thinking. Trying to tell you, man. A lot of people say I switched up. I ain't the hell wrong with y'all. I ain't switched up. I grew. If you ain't growing, you're dying. I choose to live mentally, socially, and physically. I was gonna say spiritually, didn't you? Hell no. A lot of baggage with that term. No sirree, Bob Dixon. Okay, then where's the daggone? Probably need to close some of these damn tabs. I would not have to go through this if I close some of these damn tabs. Where is the? Then somebody that came and snatched the thing off the thing. No, they didn't. It's called semi. See now. All right, hold on. See if I can get this on here real quick. Let's try it again. I'm gonna make sure I multi-stream this. Right here. 10-year anniversary show. Mossy Warriors. Gonna be on the Mossy channel. I'm gonna make sure I double stream it. You know, West Africa was always my thing though. So we developed the whole thing around West Africa. Y'all act like this new. This ain't new. So make sure y'all there and support on that 10th anniversary tomorrow, man. Right? Break some bread, talk that talk, you know what I'm saying? Parlaying back with some old friends, you know what I mean? Why am I saying this? What the hell has got to do with anything we about to talk about that day? Are you lost, Ankh? Hell no. I was right here. Right? Now the lecture begins. We got 37,000 in the building. We really started 40, but I'm going to cut y'all break. This right here is the joint that made me run into my atheism. Yeah, it did. Which ran me straight into the damn Greeks, which officially ran my ass out of Egypt. When you run out of Egypt, which is a culture, black algae culture, wherever you think you was trying to, I was always trying to understand the damn culture. I don't know what hell everybody else was doing. I always had a different view of the damn thing. Early in the game, 20 years ago, 22, 23 years ago, you was thinking that your ancestors came from Egypt, and as you studied, you realized you ain't had shit to do with it, but it was okay because it was an African civilization. They give you a little calmness in your heart. It's a little calmness in your heart. But it was statements like this. Where's statements like this at? Nope. I got to highlight in orange somewhere in here. It's in orange somewhere in here. First of all, there's a tribe in here called the Masi. And why was the Masi so damn important? The Masi was so damn important because they went against what you would think African custom and tradition was, right? No, not that they went against African custom and tradition, that they stood on it and they realized that Islam and Christianity was a vehicle of enslavement and destroying their culture, and they made a whole prophecy around it. Thus the name Masi. That's why I came up with the name Masi. Because they was fighting against the gods, the foreign gods, and they was unwilling to accept it, to the point where they made a whole prophecy of the first person, when the first white man appears in the land was through. I can't even find that prophecy. Yeah, I'll find the end. I don't even think that's important, but for me, I had understood why the African culture had fell. And then I couldn't understand why anybody was even accepting Islam, Christianity, Judaism at that point. But it was this book right here. And it was these statements, not only the prophecy that was made, it was also this right here. They had varied, there were other varied, it say some of the highly important, one of the, okay, so the Masi had like institutions for the Muslims. They built a whole ministry for the Muslims. It say, for unlike so many other African societies, the migrating Masi had learned something from the history of the blacks and their relationship with the Arabs and Berber people, right? The Berbers are other Africans. It say for foreigners could settle, no foreigners could settle in Masi territory, but since the Masi themselves were great traders, they needed the far-flung outlets which Muslims everywhere controlled. So that's a lot of times African culture would succumb to, finance, trading, commerce, and would appear to be Muslim or accept Islam. Same with Christianity. A lot of times there's some political reasons why the king will actually choose that, the people will follow suit. Queen Nzinga did it. It wasn't that she was actually believing in it, right? It was a maneuver, a political maneuver. That's how this game is played. The Vikings did the same thing. Right? They was not allowed to own land even after they conquered the land. They couldn't own land in Christian Europe without being a Christian. They couldn't even marry into the monarchy until they was Christian. See how that worked? So the Muslims, let me say, Muslim traders were therefore admitted into the country under strict supervision of the Ministry of Muslims. Watch this. All Muslim activity was restricted to trade. The religion of Islam was rejected. The conversion to both teachings and religions forbidden. It say, in short, the Mosque saw Islam and Christianity as a white man's vehicle of conquest. It was the only black nation in the time to see this. Indeed, the Mosque prophecy held that when the first white man appeared in the land, the nation would die. It's like, damn. So I start to feel like, damn, did I die? You know, was black families actually the Walking Dead? Our social cultural system, you know what I mean, kind of died with the advent of believing in Islam, Christianity, Judaism. I'm saying it don't have to be a bad thing. It could be a good thing. Not saying that, but the essence of what we was captured and pigeon-toed by a damn religion. That's what I'm saying. Damn. I said, these Africans thinking they at least held on to their traditions. And then Chancellor Williams talks about where you should start your journey in studying African history. So where the hell you think you should start your journey in studying African history, y'all? I'm thinking go to the continent of Africa. That man say go to Europe. I said, damn. He said go to the museums, is where all the African stolen artifacts are. Start there in Europe. Then John Henry Clark, great master teacher, says, study European history first. I said, damn. That's when I got it. That's when I started to mature. It was the atheism part right here. Did my first video talking about atheism. Atheos. I said atheos. Let me share this real quick. Let me get into my presentation. I'm going to open it up. I want y'all to get this lesson, man. Right here. I like to show the same sources for years. That way you can't say I ain't say it. Now this seems to be a complex idea for some reason for African Americans and black people. Why the hell is atheism so complex for people to get? I remember arguing with Easy Band. He's a nut. Trying to tell me the atheism. I said, yo, atheism didn't start out not believing in damn God, bro. Argue me down. I mean, argue me down, then I beat him up. So it just starts off, atheism is a rejection of as assertion that a deity exists. That's it. In a narrow sense, positive atheism, specifically the position that there are no deities, effectively taking the stance of a positive claim in regards to the existence of any god or goddesses. But that ain't what got me. Then it goes on. They say that the English term atheist was used at least as early as the 6th century CE. Atheistic ideas and their influence have a longer history. So I'm saying, okay. Then it go to Greek. Philosophical atheists thought began to appear in Europe and Asia in the 6th and 5th century. Ancient Greece. I say, damn. Okay. All right. I see the Enlightenment fueled skepticism, secularism against religion in Europe. I say, damn, okay. But that ain't what got. I was like, all right. It's when I got into the origins of it. Right here. when I took my ass to classical Greece and Rome. To get to classical Greece and Rome, you got to leave Egypt. It was those words of John Henry Clark and Chancellor Williams. He said, go to Europe. So I went. I went to the classical period. And this is where everything changed for me, culturally. The way I thought about it was different. In Western classical antiquity, theism was the fundamental belief that supported the legitimacy of the state. Later, the Roman Empire, it says historically, any person who did not believe in any deity supported by the state was fair game to accusations of atheism, a capital damn crime. I say, wow, a capital crime for not believing in the state-sponsored religion? So actually, atheism in its true beginnings actually didn't have much to do with not believing in God, and all to do with not dealing with the state-sponsored religion, and the deities gave the state legitimacy. That's cultural right there. It's a charge of atheism, meaning any subversion of religion, were often used similarly to charge of heresy or impiety. That's what they do to you, Christian. You're a heresy. You heresy. You're going against the doctrine. The bull crap. Impiety as a political tool to eliminate the enemies. So this thing is going on in Greece and Rome. It's say early Christians were widely reviled as atheists because they did not participate in the cults of Greco-Roman gods. And during the Roman Empire, Christians were executed for their rejection of the pagan deities in general and empirical cults of ancient Rome in particular. I said, well, damn. And then we run into philosophy. The roots of Western philosophy began in Greek world in the 6th century BC. Hellenistic philosophers were not atheists, see? But they attempted to explain the world in terms of processes of nature instead of by mythological accounts. Thus, lightning was the result of wind breaking out and parting the clouds. And earthquakes occurred when the earth was considerably altered by the heating and cooling. The early philosophers criticized traditional religion notions. How you say Anastasophes? How you say his name? Got Anagoras. Anastasophes. Will you say that? Anagoras. Will you say that? Nope. Hold on. Let's see. Anastasophes. How you say that damn name? Let me see. Yeah, Xenophanes. Xenophanes. Yeah, that'll run you away from that. 600 BC, it say famously said that if a cow and horses had hands, then horses would draw the forms of the gods like horses and cows like cows. That was an earth-shattering thing, but I'm like, that's funny as hell. Then I kind of processed, I said, that's why man drew a god that looked like him. Good. Look, we talking about cultural shifts. We talking about shift in thinking. All humans have this ability, right? But sometimes it's your culture that actually holds you back. The culture of black algae is holding us back. It says another philosopher, Anagoras, in the 5th century claimed that the sun was a fiery mass larger than the Pelenes. It say a charge of impiety was brought against him and he was forced to flee Athens. So when people started thinking about things in terms of the natural processes, they was kicked out. You got to get up out of there, right? And then you got the first fully materialistic philosophy was produced by Atomus Leucippus and Democritus. But right here though, so they talking about the That's actually what is a natural philosophy proposing that the physical universe is composed of fundamental individual components known as atoms. And of course, they didn't know what the hell a damn atom was like, but they starting to, I say, damn, that's interesting. But the political, watch this. This the one. For political reasons, Socrates was accused of being an atheist. Watch this. Refusing to acknowledge the gods recognized by the state. This is the first understanding of atheism, yo. All right? That's a mind shift right there. It's a rebellion. So, I'm very rebellious. That's why I couldn't be a Muslim, Christian, or Jewish. I'm rebelling against that. Why am I rebelling against that? Because that's what enslaved. We got enslaved. Right? People who was practicing Christianity, we went through the Papist bulls and all that. I don't know why people still playing that game, but they do. Then they try to blackanize it, which is wild. It's all wild to me. But this right here, it made it clear on what I need to do. Reject the gods first, then you can get the science. And I don't mean to the point where you can have your own personal God, but applying your personal God to natural phenomenon is a no-no. That is the point. And that's where science starts to really move. When I say science, I don't mean science in the sense where we're talking about like science. I mean the scientific thinking. Let me rephrase that. Scientific thinking. Where you're no longer trying to, now watch this. First of all, God is a culture container of ideas based in certain geographical regions. That's why they got different names, and you can actually chart the God to its region. So it's a culture. And I know y'all might not be grown enough yet to really get that, but any God you name is a culture container of ideas based in certain geographical regions, and they exist in certain time periods. If I say Kulu Kulu, I'm in South Africa amongst the Zulus. Shaka Zulu and the boys. If I say Yahweh Elohim, I'm in the Middle East amongst the Hebrews. If I say Jesus Christ, I'm all over the damn place. But I'm definitely in Bethlehem. And I move myself to Greece and circumnavigate the globe. But it all starts in Bethlehem. Jesus Christ. If I say Zoroaster, I'm in Persia. Enki, Enlil, I'm in Sumeria. Yin and Yang, I'm in China. You get it? It's a cultural thing. Human beings will develop ideas and concepts to navigate their environment through the gods. That's how humans are trying to understand their world. They understand the world through the gods. Why in the hell did that volcano explode? Man, y'all better feed them damn gods. The gods are mad. Why did this bad luck happen? Somebody put a spell on us. It's the spells. It's the magic. It's the culture contains ideas around magic. That's why when you're in the hood and you walk down the street, I don't know if they still do it because I ain't been in the hood, you don't split the poles. Don't split the poles. I say don't split the damn poles. You split the damn poles and later on that evening you get locked up. You're like, man, I told that nigga don't split the poles. Don't let the broom hit your damn feet. Don't you dare break a mirror. You know all them things, right? They're cultural things. So this for me was a cultural shift in thinking. I need to apply rational thought to natural phenomenon. Where does that lead me? So we see Socrates. They portrayed Socrates in the play Aristophanes, Cosmic Play, The Clouds. Look it up. I read it. Interesting. Performed in 443 BCE. Portrayed Socrates as teaching his students that the traditional Greek deities did not exist. Socrates was later tried and executed under the charge of believing in gods of the state, of not believing in gods of the state, and instead worshiping foreign gods Socrates himself vehemently denied the charges of atheism at his trial. Man, they put this man to trial. All surviving sources about him indicated that he was a very devout man who prayed to the rising sun and believed in the oracles of Delphi, spoke the word of Apollo. But it's a shift in thinking, y'all. Why did they kill him? They didn't kill him because he didn't actually believe in God. They killed him because he was getting slick and trying to make that shift and applying natural causes instead of myths to natural causes. Let me say that again. He lost his life because he attempted to teach people that there may be a natural cause instead of the gods. Their culture had belief system that through their mythology and folklore and oracle, that this is how natural things occur, through the gods. You literally gotta die. There literally has to be groups of people that's willing to die for saying, you know what, I don't believe the gods did that. But that's a cultural shift. You may lose your life. That's why a lot of people can't stand me now. Because I had a cultural shift and they say I'm the white boy. So white men are atheists and they still can't understand that. But this is where the shift occurred for me. That where the hell did this push them to? You got Seti on one side talking that talk, roaring lion, Sarah, stupid Seti. You got the black Hebrews over here, the black Christian nationalists. You got all this. You got the pseudos here, there, and I'm in the midst of it, and I'm making this shift in my thought. And it didn't happen because of Egypt. All them is stuck in Egypt. Whether the Hebrews, they talk about Egypt. Seti, his whole thing is based off of Egypt. Sarah, stupid Seti, is all based in Egypt. The whole community is based in Egypt, but not me. That's what y'all don't know about me. I broke away from the cultural container of Egypt. That's why I studied the Green Sahara. That's why I studied in South Africa. That's why I made a group based in West Africa. And they stoned me for it, verbally, socially. If they could have killed me, they would have. They threatened my family. Threatened me on Facebook. Hey, little bad man, I can't believe it, man, you're going against the God. I'm like, but shut up. All because I was making a cultural shift in thinking. So it's not that you should not believe in a God. That's on you. It's that you should not apply that God to your real world, to things that are occurring in your world, to natural phenomena. You should try to explain through what? What did it push me to? I ran smack into the natural philosophers. Go back and look at some of the old videos. Talk about Thales of Malay. Let me break that out. Now we cooking. Hold on. Right here, y'all. It ran me right here. Because he's the first one. He sets that school up. Now we cooking. Y'all ever seen me do this? Right here. First of all, you got to be able to handle even remotely worrying about learning something from what you perceive to be a white person. That's another cultural shift. Because we had a culture here where black everything reigns supreme and it's all right. We got the old ancient Egyptian way of thinking, where the older is better, where we don't break tradition, like the sacred cows or the John Henry Clarks, the Dr. Benz and them. We're not willing to break away from ancient authority, where the elders are the most important thing. Nigga told me yesterday that Brother Reggie's an elder. How dare you? That's the concrete Corey head, known pseudo. How dare you go against Brother Reggie? He is an elder. How dare you? And Reggie come right out with some flim flam bam bam boom talking about, yeah, they using religion term, that means religion is sign. Man, shut the hell up with that. You bugged out. And the fact that Concrete Corey Head will remotely even understand it that way shows that he has not broken away from tradition. He can't move forward. That's why none of them can actually understand the daggone thing. Because watch this. It's their blackology that's getting in the way because they can't understand this picture right here. It disturbs their blackology to see this picture. If you're sitting here looking at this picture saying, man, I ain't no damn white man, I ain't listen to that. That's your blackology being activated. This is what the problem is. Those that fight against us are fighting through their blackology because they can't handle the damn truth. They can't stand to see this picture right here. Oh, the white man's your God, the white man's sign. I can't believe we don't got signs. We got signs. No, it's your blackology. We said none of these things. It's your blackology activated. That's why Concrete Corey Head, that's why Stupid Peas, because they blackology is in their way. It's a bias that they can't get out of. They hate those that use scientific literacy to push their biases down. They hate what they can't understand. It's right here, yo. Right here. Now watch this. Thales of Miletus. You know he started the school at Ionia. Was an ancient Greek pre-Socratic philosopher from Miletus in Ionia, Asia Minor. Thales was one of the 7 sages, founding figures of ancient Greece. Beginning the 18th century historiography, many came to regard him as what? The first philosopher in Greek traditions, breaking from the prior use of mythology, to explain the world and instead using natural philosophy. I say, what the fuck is natural philosophy? Natural philosophy. Philosophy of nature, experimental philosophy, until the late modern period, was a systematic, research-based study of nature and the physical universe while ignoring any supernatural influences. See? I said, damn. By George, I think I've got it. It was my thirst for knowledge. It was my upbringing, because I was raised in a mixed neighborhood. Jewish people, white people, black people, it was mixed up. So I actually wasn't afraid of white people and Jewish people. Not at all. I didn't feel inferior because I competed in that environment and was top notch. So I didn't have these, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we in school, they smart. I didn't actually think that. I felt like I was on par, right? Study harder to get better test scores. I didn't feel like they were smarter because they was white or Jewish or something like that. I didn't have that baggage. And so when I came here, right, I was able to break away from the nonsense, from the blackology. Right? So maybe your upbringing is getting in the way. Somewhere y'all got to find the strength. And see, in breaking away, right, you really grow. You become a better black man, a better black woman. You start to understand the world around you. So it's right here. Breaking from the prior use of mythology to explain the world and instead using natural philosophy. He is thus otherwise referred to as the first to have engaged in mathematics, science, and deductive reasoning. Well, of course, there's mathematics before him. But what I want y'all to take away from this is you can't look at this picture and feel like you are inferior. Look at this picture and say, what the hell was he actually talking about? He was simply trying to explain the world not through myth, but through reality. That's a shift in culture because his culture murdered people who thought that way. Say it again. His culture murdered people that felt that way. It's not that you believe in God, it's that you're not willing to put God as the answer for natural phenomena. This is a shift in thinking. It was so profound that they lost their life for it. They was enslaved, either murdered, or put the hell out. Rebellion. Where is it? Where there's an institution of rebelling and not telling and not talking about the gods and trying to explain the natural world in ancient Kemet. We have an example of Akhenaten, one example of a pharaoh who was the religious leader, listen to me, that broke away. They claimed he started monotheism, but in actuality, he just went to the one God and the many. See, y'all got to read it for yourself. He tried to start their tradition. The World Treasury went broke. They thought he was a heretic. It's not a word for that during that time, but they was like, get that shit out of here. He moved the city, started the city of Amana. The man didn't take care of his business like he was supposed to. He was too wrapped up and staring at the damn sun, and it went against him. He's not known as a renowned pharaoh in ancient Egypt. He's known as y'all play with him. Oh, he's the monotheist started. Whatever, nigga. That nigga is nothing. They was like, oh, get out of here with that crap. They went right back. The priesthood and all that. When he died, they erased his name out of the thing. They said he was a nut. So that idea did not continue. You see what I'm saying? The culture was not ready for what he had. That's one person. This is a whole system, right? It's a brand new culture forming around this idea of not trying to talk, not trying to tell the story through the myth, not trying to explain not trying to explain natural causes through the myth. They developed a tradition of this, right? And they went through the death and killing you and all that, but they still did it. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. There's the fundamental shift in culture here. That's what I'm saying. So when I say atheism, I'm not saying the actual not believing in God part. Y'all won't get that. Remember, the early form was going against the state-sponsored religion, going against giving explanation for the natural world through the myth. That's really what I'm trying to get you to see. It's culture. What made Egypt great? It was their culture. It's their culture that made them great. From coming out of the Green Sahara somewhere around 6,000 BCE somewhere, maybe 7,000, moving back and forth. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen the Green Sahara, the Holocene, how I show those pictures, right? They start building tradition. The culture was strong, bro. It was so strong that it elevated them to the greatest heights. It actually pushed them past other cultures at that time. That's why they're still writing books about them. It was their culture, the way they did their thing, the way they seen the world, the way they did their sacraments, right? The way they practiced their magic, the way they copied their text, the way they thought that being old was the greatest, the way they kept stacking on a foundation and never changing it, unwavering on the way they thought about the world around them. And it was so serious that it pushed them to the height of technology. Team, not STEM, but team, technology, engineering, and math. And the way they transmitted their ideas consistently, the way they created writing and art and engineering feats. They created the first skyscrapers of the world because of the way they thought. But let me tell y'all something here. Let me push it back on my own so y'all make me get this. You may have noticed I kind of tweaked the way I do things. I ain't so quick to cuss everybody out. I ain't so quick to be the loudest all the time. I said all the damn time. It was a time where I had to be that. Kind of everybody got to calm down this motherfucker right now. Chill out. I'm going to let you talk a little bit. I've shifted my game. But let me tell y'all something. I came up in an environment where my voice had to be the loudest. I'm around super pseudos, Ali Muhammad. He's a sophisticated pseudo, polite, sophisticated. Jabari, sophisticated. Who else? Jabari. I can't even think of the other little dude. Super sophisticated. Was up there talking about green algae at the debate. Sarah Stupid Seti. He the loudest of them all. Well, he got the RBG cranking. Minister Stinky Inky. Yo, I come up around them. You got Aswell Crazy, all them, y'all had to roll like a damn lion. I had to cuss you out because you standing in my face lying on me. I had to. And that made me fit right there, yo. And that put me at the position where I could actually compete. That was the culture I created. I created Battleship, where we battled our scholarship. Outside battling these niggas. Oh, you dumb as a mom. See what I'm saying? That put me here. But as I got older, and as I went through different stages from the Raw Squad through the Moss, through all that, to the pseudo killers, and this last iteration of goddamn pseudo killers, yo. As I got more intelligent people around me who started to understand we ain't trying to talk about no damn myth at all. We trying to get to it with the natural causes, yo. You get more intelligent people, yo. That which made me renowned started to make me lose my game, my A, started being a B. And I seen it. I say, damn. I can't keep doing shit the same way. I gotta break. I started a tradition of battleship in these wild ass niggas. I said, that's not what it is now. I gotta tone it down, yo. So you see the shift in what I'm doing. But if I keep doing this right here, I'm gonna lose it. So I change. And I'm in that transition. Because I feel like just my words and my intelligent manner is better than any of this shit y'all niggas can do. I think the way I speak, take my time, I'm beating you up anyway. That we don't got the cities around no more. The ink in them, I finished all them niggas off. So it don't make sense to be, it makes sense to be just like this. You know, when I'm by myself out and talk that talk, it's cool, but I need to be here, right? Why am I saying this? The Egyptians stayed here. For 6,000 years, he stayed here, and he was not willing to change because that made him renowned. The damn Chinese isolated themselves, but the isolation for them made them renowned. Hopefully, Miss Tiff will give you the history of China. She's lethal with that shit. Lethal with it. It fits right into our conversation. I'm hoping she's ready to do that. They isolated themselves. That shit was renowned for thousands of years, yo, Chinese. It put them at the damn level higher than people with science. That's the question. Y'all know that, right? Hold on. That's the Needleham question, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Needleham. He studied China. So why it says the needle ham question is a central problem in the history of science formulated by the British historian and biochemist Josh Needleham. Here's the question, y'all. I'm gonna keep throwing it. Here's the core idea in the question, y'all. Why did modern science, characterized by mathematical laws, systematic experimentation, and institutionalization, developed in Europe, especially during the scientific revolution, and not in China, despite China's long history of advanced technological achievements, y'all? Why didn't the shit develop in Egypt, y'all? They got 5,000 years of consistent history. Why didn't it develop in Nubia? They got one of the largest running unchanged governments. Because they wasn't willing to change their culture. That what made them strong in the beginning, that what made them vigorous, that which took them to the top, now puts them at a disadvantage because now they run into other people. The Assyrians, the Hyksos. The Hyksos brought the chariot in. That's a break of goddamn tradition, ain't it? What the hell is this horse pulling this? We don't do that. We Egyptians. We march into battle. It's our tradition. The Pharaoh has commanded armies. We have won. We're undefeated. What silliness is this? And the Hyksos ruled Egypt for like 200 years. Had better technology. The culture shifted a little bit because it wasn't against the gods to take technology and make it better. That's what they are renowned for, Egyptians, for taking and raising technology, right? So they modernized the chariot. But that's not going against the gods. It's not going against the temple tradition, though, is it? That's an easy move for them. And the Greeks destroy them. They move in, boom. So Egypt goes from here, right, being renowned, having the learning centers where everybody from the world come in, to now the learning centers down in Greece, where they have a tradition of murdering people who go against the state-sponsored religion. They have a tradition of saying, I'll die for this. I think we're all here. All the naysayers, all my haters, and the bitch-ass niggas, because y'all bitch-ass niggas to me, I think y'all can get this. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to beat the team. Because your black algae will always get in the way and make you say stupid shit, like stupid peas. Do you know this man actually said, they over there, they read sources. They read scientific journals. I fight them with logic. I can talk to this bitch and that bitch and this bitch and that bitch because they got logic. That's why they can't beat us, because they fight with logic. Actually, math is logic. Science is counterintuitive. You need it. It's hard. That's how I know you can't beat us. You can't beat me. That's how I know we better than you. See that right there? We all love black people, but we have a tool that will slow our black algae down. You know what the issue is? Polymath, Dr. Reggie of the TMI. You know what the problem is? I actually activated his black algae and he dove out the window. And they all followed him. Nobody followed him because they black algae. They ain't even thinking about the subject. All they can see is that goddamn pseudo killer said that we don't got no science. Y'all the same people who was like science is the white man thing. Y'all the same people who was faking. You got people like Sheffrin, people like Concrete Corey here, them niggas, yo, niggas over here faking. That's why they gone. See, y'all don't know why they gone. They black algae got their ass removed. They couldn't move forward. And if you think I'm just making up, go listen to all the conversations. They can't actually move forward. Some of them don't even really care. They just want the content. That's another thing. I want more than content. I want to actually teach people. I'm connected to programs that are actually teaching people something for real. But they can't go, right? Because that first thing that made the pseudo killers great with the controversy now works against us, so we don't do it no more. I accept responsibility for shifting things. I'm the great shifter. That's what I do. I bring people together. Remember, I'm the motherfucking GM around here. I can pick a good damn team. Might not be the smartest nigga on the team, but I can see it. And I make mistakes. But everybody that's in these circles, man, they here for a damn reason, yo. And the thing that make the environment so good for me that I ain't the smartest one in the room, else I'll be out that bitch. When I became the smartest person in the room in the Amara squad, the shit ended. And I don't necessarily mean like no more shit. Just smart enough to know that, yo, I ain't no motherfucking expert. Niggas thought they was experts. To this day. And old Wu Jia dove out the window yesterday with his philosophical stance. He'll get beat up too. Trust me. So stay where you at, Wu Jia. I don't know your damn stance, but I know it was a little bit pseudo the way you wrote that on Facebook. So that's a warning shot. Stay out of it. Go back into your safe little corner and teach what you teach. That's just a warning shot. So back to culture and cultural shifts. Them niggas can't go because they black algae is in the way. None of them can go. They think we doing black people injustice by saying they didn't have science. They don't know that black people participated in the scientific revolution. Revolution. They don't know that though, because you got to dig deep. You got to chill. You got to dig deep. They don't know about none of that. They just think they hear the word Europe and they black algae is activated. Can't hear shit after that. Name calling. They don't know what they doing. This person is scientist. This is science. They all over the damn place. So let's make a comparison with culture. We're not making a comparison with intellect when we talk about the Malaysian schools, right? And the Egyptian schools. We're not making a value judgment on intelligence here. Y'all heard me say it. They're not gonna hear that. They black algae blanks this out. They won't hear this, right? All they hear is put it up. They ain't gonna hear it. They're not gonna hear them saying we're not making a value judgment at all. Before I do this, man, let's take a little break. Let's take a cash ad break, man. Let's show some love, man. Let me do this, man. Let's take a time. I don't know how to take that, Chris. But thank you for the what? Hey, let me pause for a damn minute. Y'all talk that shit about Chris and pseudo and all that. We all have pseudo ways at times, yo. But one thing about this man, yo, that none of y'all got is fucking heart. Y'all don't got the heart this man got. Y'all don't got the. I think maybe it's the intelligence level or something. Like some of y'all probably do need to get in a different environment, like get in a school environment or something. I mean, it won't be much of a fight. I talked about this with Dr. Mayas. She was like, man, yo, I can have you on the phone with doctors, yo, and they can understand what the hell you saying, and you can understand what they're saying. It's the way we communicate, it's the way your brain thinks. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we just too ignorant to understand it. Ignorant simply means not to know it's okay. Sometimes your upbringing get in the damn way. And then that extra coat of black algae, yo, it kill you. Half of us, 99% of us was not raised in this environment. Where the black is everything. We weren't even raised in that. That's another coat over the layer of your damn upbringing. But one thing about Chris, he got hard. He in the thick of it. He feels so serious about himself. That nigga say, I'm the MVP. It's in his name. And he fights to live up to his name. I'm the MVP. Y'all pseudo killer. I want to be a damn pseudo killer. He don't feel like he's subpar. I want to throw my ideas in the ring with y'all niggas. I'm going to get right here with y'all. I got to take my hat off for that. Now, I don't know about this statement. I'm not sure. Medicine is applied science. Now, he can play this two ways. Because he's slippery. Don't get it twisted. He's slippery. He even saying that the Egyptians had medicine, which they did. They had herbology. But was it applied science? Or he's saying that medicine is applied science, because it is. Now, here's the intelligent part of it. Of course, medicine is applied science. But this is one thing right here. You got to have science to even apply it to the medicine, to agriculture, any of that. Go back and look at the show. Fucking Cedric did a spectacular job on what the hell science is. Go back and listen to the show. Gullah did a spectacular job. Go back and listen to the show. Anthony and Juju did a spectacular job. And Gary. We put the shows together. We mashed them up. Where they dealt with, each show dealt with an idea. I'm not sure, Chris. I'm gonna have to talk to you on the phone. I think you might be trying to throw a pseudo thing in there where you can shift it, but I don't mind. I like your heart, yo. Yep. You got to get beat up to learn something. You know how much I got beat up? I had to get beat up. And as you get beat up, you learn. You hit me with the right hand. Keep your damn left up. Stop dropping it. So, we're talking about fails the Malaysian schools versus the Egyptian schools. Man, let me get this right first. Okay. All right. That's what we talked about. But what we want to do is we want to get the damn Cash App rolling first. That's what we need to do here. We got to show some support, man. Like, we ain't doing this. Like, you ain't finding this nowhere, yo, with the flavor like this, yo. They ain't giving it up like this, yo. They on some halfway crook halfway, the whole 9 yards. They doing everything but what we doing right here, yo. All right. We got the experts to back us over here. All right. We in constant conversation with people outside of our scope of expertise. And we here, man. All right. So let's take a little break. As we do what we do. All right. Make sure y'all support the debate. Because guess what, y'all? I see you. I definitely see you. Man, take that Cash App break, man. Y'all know what it is, man.
Yeah. Look. Hey, Cash App. Baltimore. Yeah. Cash App, don't let it run you. Money fill the gas, but it never feel honey. Cash App. Dreams get so fast. If you don't own your time, you just rent your past. Cash App, screens full of flex. Real life hit hard when the rent come next. Cash App, tool not God. Use it, don't lose it, keep your head on top. Lend a mill, lend a bill, lend a pay me now. Everybody yell, get it like a sacred house. Timeline full of blessed, but the stress still lurks. Same folks posting gas, still drowning in hurt. Explosions of cash and the camera flash, but the lights cut off when you can't make it last. This ain't a trick, but it move like a spell. Type in the amount for that dopamine swell. Quick tap, quick send, quick high, quick drop. Then you back in the cold when the real don't stop. I done seen love turn transactional quick. Send some in the DM like that's all it is. Cash App, don't let it run you. Cat, don't let it run you. Cash App, don't let it run you. Don't. Hard hard work, yeah, I respect that. But rest ain't weakness, I protect that. Cause money earn me nothing if your soul get thin. If you're always up next, tell me eat when you win. They sellin' hustle like it's peace in the pack, but peace don't come from a green little stack. So send when you can, look out for your kin, but don't let the app decide how you feel within. Set them rules, don't be ruled by the buzz. Real love is a call, not a what's up, cuz. Cash app, 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 don't let it run you, got, don't let it run you, cash app, don't let it run you, don't, yeah, ball,
Man, y'all know what it is, man. Hit the damn Cash App social support, man, around here, man. Make sure y'all do that, man. You know what I'm saying, yo? Support that love, man. You know, we like to try to at least get 5, yo. We definitely got a super chat, man. Hit the super chat or the Cash App, man. This is how we doing it. Make sure y'all support that debate. All right? It's going to be in the description. Well, we got 2 continental Africans getting it in. I suggest y'all go ahead and pop up on that, man. Get that. It's the Bible, the Word of God, man. April 12th, man. It's going all the way down. $20 play, man. $25 a day off. Man, go get that, man. Show some love, man. Make sure y'all also support the family shows, man, on the Pseudo Killers, the Galaxy and Beyond, man. All right. Deep show, man. Where Anthony, Juju, and Gary, they get it all the way in, man. I don't see you jumping the bed challenge them, although Kyle kind of, had some good questions and a good conversation. Maybe we can make that a damn thing, huh? Let's see. And then, of course, we got the sad talk, man. Man, those 2 shows last night were super powerful, man. And then go back and look at Sad did a great job of putting the science thing together, yo. You don't get no better than that. And then we got the book of Al Jaheed. I don't got the flyer for it. I'm going to get it. Make sure that. And then we got the Brain Show with Limbe. And then we got the Medical Show with Malcolm. You put all that together, yo. See what we doing? See, we leaders. We push and lead the conversation. That's what we do. You will never follow us. You will never catch us following a conversation. We're at the forefront of this right here. Appreciate all that, man. Show the love, man. It's Friday, man. And we getting it in, man. Let's go ahead and learn something, man. We always want to learn something. So we right here right now with the presentation. And we're trying to make a distinction. We're talking about the Malaysian school versus the Egyptian school. A source-based comparison of ancient educational system. So I'm talking about cultures developed schools. Don't matter how you look. It's a human thing to develop schools. The point is, what are the ideas behind the school? And is the ideas behind the school, will it push tradition more than it push natural answers? That's how I need y'all to see this. You got to see it this way. Well, you don't got to do nothing. But I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you what will be best going forward for science. Would it be the Egyptian schools versus the Malaysian schools? Now, like I said, this is not a saying you smarter than me, I'm smarter than you. That's not a value judgment there. That's simply, we're talking about the culture here. That's what we're doing. So we right here. The core distinction. Evidence does not securely show Thales founded a formal school with a charter or fixed curriculum. The Malaysian tradition was a line of inquiry into natural causes. Are you listening? Egypt, however, had a formal, scribal, and priestly school. See, they had a formal. See, their schools was better. Y'all see that? It was more formal. Egypt, however, had a formal, scribal, priestly schools. including the House of Life. I'm expecting the Melanestic scholars to jump on this. It says for textual and intellectual transmission. For what? What was the schools based on? They was based on for textual and intellectual transmission. They're transmitting Egyptian ideas. They're translating Egyptian text. Now, they're copying Egyptian text. It say these Egyptian institutions were not equivalent to the Thales style philosophical circle. They're different. And then the Greeks got the Egyptians where the Egyptians didn't have the Greeks. Egypt predates Greece. They get to see all your mistakes and all your good. They can just, okay. See the value in that? Thales intellectual contribution. The cosmos has the underlying principle discoverable through natural causes. It's a key point there. Explanations should be sought within nature, not myth alone. See? Mathematical and observational inquiry are crucial for understanding phenomenon. Now, don't run off and say, I'm saying that we couldn't think. I didn't say that because I'm pretty sure there were definitely plenty of Africans thinking the same damn way. But was it institutionalized? No. See? Yeah, we do have the Edwin Smith medical papyrus, but was it institutionalized? No, because we only got one. It definitely wasn't part of the scribal tradition and institutions. You only got one. That's all we found, Woody. We only got one. We only know what we know. The nature of the Malaysian school. There's no ancient document explaining Thales' personal reasons for founding a school. The Malaysian tradition likely began as a new style of inquiry, seeking casual, natural, and general explanations of the world. Don't overwhoop the shit. See? It was a school of thought rather than a fully documented institution. The damn Egyptians just told you had institutions, y'all, of promoting the ways of old. See? Talk culture here. So you can't say I'm beating up the Egyptian school. No, the Egyptian schools was definitely an institution. The Malaysian school was very loose. See? But that's not the point. It's the way they was thinking. It's the point. Malaysian tradition versus Egyptian institutions. The damn Egyptians had fucking institutions, y'all. So we're not saying that they're not intelligent. They have the same intelligence. The difference is the damn culture. The difference is that the Greeks stand on top of Sumerian, Mesopotamian, and Egyptian culture. See the difference? Thales, Malaysian tradition. Let's deal with the tradition. Primarily a school of thought focused on natural causes. Why is the focus on natural causes important to natural philosophy and later on science? By now, y'all should know. Go look at the daggone presentation yesterday on TED Talk. On SAD Talk. Look at it. It explains it. To the point where I don't have to explain it here. The primarily a school of thought focused on natural causes and first principles, investigated cosmology, geometry, and astronomy through the observation of inference. An intellectual lineage, not a documented formal institution. I say again, an intellectual lineage, a way of thinking, not a documented formal institution. Now, on the other hand, the Greeks, Egyptian scribal and temple schools, documented formal schools for scribes and priests, preserving administrative, ritual, and textual knowledge. Curriculum involved reading, writing, memorization, and practical training closely linked to temples and the damn state. It was primarily there to promote and push the state. Learning the meta nature and writing it. Promoting the rituals and textual knowledge, not things and natural causes. It was all about the gods and the ways of old for these temple schools. Synthesizing the comparison. Thales initiated a Malaysian intellectual tradition of natural explanations, while Egypt had formal scribal temple schools such as the House of Life. These Egyptian institutions, though formal, did not function as the same type of philosophical school as Thales' circle. Y'all get it? These Egyptian institutions, though formal, that means they was very intelligent, did not function as the same type of philosophical school as Thales' circle. Key sources and interpretive caution. Gotta throw that in. SCP emphasizes caution. Malaysian school is a tradition, not necessarily master pupil. Thales wrote no books. The Britannica confirms no surviving Thales writings. Notes his focus on natural causes, geometry, and astronomy. Well, you know he learned geometry from the Egyptians, right? Of course he did. Britannica details Egyptian formal tracts, scribes, priests, and practical memorization-based training. It's more important to memorize stuff, right? Don't mess up the order of my yacht by messing it up, by taking off the daggone spell. That's why they said the spells were put back on the Edwin Smith papyrus. It went something like this. Let's use our imagination. Some intelligent African somewhere in 90-degree weather. He was trained in memorizing the text. He was trained in the language. He was trained in writing. He copies the Edwin Smith papyrus. He like, damn, I don't need to put the spells on here. This right here good. He hands it to the teacher or the one that runs the school and say, why the hell you leave the spells off of it? And there the tradition dies again. The hell wrong with this nigga? He took the spells off of it. He lost his damn mind. Get him out of here. Boo. He took the spells off. They didn't say, man, that's a good idea. Let's start incorporating that. It didn't happen, y'all. The culture would not allow it. Remember, I gave y'all that brief synopsis of how the thing that made you renowned can make you lose at the end? Remember, I talked about that, right? Now, that's starting to come into fruition. Now, Zen describes the House of Life as a temple-attached academy for cultural knowledge and libraries. Well, wait a minute. This is shit that made them renowned. Y'all remember? The cultural knowledge and libraries. Clarifying Thales School. The term Thales School can be misleading, implying a formal academy. For accuracy, Malaysian traditions or Malaysian school of thought is preferred, reflecting an intellectual movement rather than a chartered institution. See? Because my enemies will try to attack that, thinking they're doing something slick. But I'm not going to let you. And there we have it. So now let's move on from that to this. And I'm going to drop that damn link. Malaysian versus Egyptian scientific progression, a comparative analysis of early educational models. Which model fosters scientific inquiry? We compare Malaysian natural philosophy with Egyptian scribal temple schools to determine which framework better supports the formal scientific progress. At this point, your black algae is killing you. You're falling apart. You forgot that the Greeks went to the learning institutions in Egypt. Did y'all forget that? I think you did. They went to the Babylonian schools too. They were world travelers, their world, which is important for getting ideas and building on them. Egyptian schools, traditions, and specializations. It says ancient Egyptian education was formal, practical, and aimed at transmitting culture through drill and memorization. It was deeply embedded in temple, scribal, and traditional structures, linking elite learning to sacred texts and ritual. Malayan tradition, natural explanations, and criticism. The Malayan tradition introduced a new way of inquiry into the world, viewing nature as a self-ordering system. It fostered a critical tradition focused on natural explanations of the cosmos, engaging open-ended revision. Remember that Edwin Smith? Obviously, when the scribe, revised it, they put the damn spells back on it because it wasn't a tradition of taking the shit off. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. We almost finished here. Malaysian versus Egyptian key differences. Malaysian tradition, a loose philosophical tradition focused on inquiry into nature, first principles, and causal explanations, less dependent on mythic narrative, encourages natural explanations and critical challenges, challenging the old ways. It's a best suited for engagement in natural inquiry. Egyptian schools, formal education tied to the temple scribal institutions, aiming to train specialists for administration and ritual, deeply embedded in the sacred text, emphasizing preservation of inherited knowledge. Don't mess up the damn knowledge. Don't throw off the balance of Mayat. Best suited for long-term knowledge preservation. Yeah, that long-term knowledge preservation allowed them to reach the heights of engineering, mathematics, and goddamn technology. But it's horrible for scientific innovation. See? Now we cooking with hot damn grease. Conclusion supporting scientific progression. The Malaysian model more readily supports formal scientific inquiry by emphasizing natural explanations, critical revision, and inquiry into nature as a self-ordering system. Egyptian schools, while intellectually rich, were more tightly embedded in temple and traditional structures, which limited open-ended revision of first principles. It says this comparison concerned institutional tendencies, not absolute intellectual capacity. I'm going to say this again. This comparison concerns institutional tendencies, not absolute intellectual capacity. Egyptian civilization generated vast technical knowledge. Same thing the Chinese did, right? Yeah, that black algae killing y'all right now. Yeah, y'all done. Yeah. That's where we at, man. Hour 25 minutes of straight fire. Go back, take your time, get the books. Don't listen to me. Right? Now, they'll make the mistake in thinking I'm talking about people. God damn it, I'm talking about culture. I'm not saying your brain capacity is smart that. I'm just saying sometimes, the thing that make you great make you lose. Got to be able to change that. And then I realized, one culture wasn't able to change that. It took a multiplicities of different cultures making certain changes. One culture couldn't handle all that shit. See? That's why science is a human endeavor. See? One culture never was ready for all that. Why not? Because we have Stone Age brains. That's why. We want to believe. That's why. we evolved to believe. That's why. Boy, they got that black algae kicking. At this point, your black algae is kicking. At this point, you're about to lose your damn mind. Black algae ain't no joke. I've dropped the link, man. Hit the link, man. Jump on. Want to hear your conversation. Got about another half hour left for y'all, man. What it do, what it do, what it do. Man, black God, you had you messed up. Here we go. Blew the cake. He said, have you made a direct line of demarcation between the moment science did exist and the moment it didn't? I think that's what's debated, whether that exists. We got the scientific revolution is really the thing. And you got to go back and watch what Cedric did. He it's not like it's like a direct line. Let me get Cedric on this real quick. Hey man, we cooking, yo. Hey, that shit was spectacular. That was spectacular. And yo, you see that? You see how all y'all gang raised here, yo, when y'all just had one idea to deal with, yo? How y'all came with the fire, the absolute pinpoint accuracy, yo. Do you know how good that show was, yo? Do you know how good your part was, bro? I don't think you know how good you came off. So here's the thing for you. Read that. Can you see it? It says, have you made a direct line of demarcation between the moment science didn't exist, and the moment it did? I think that's what's debated, whether that existed. Answer that, bro. You did an election. Go for it.
Yeah, well, let me first say excellent presentation, and we definitely cooking with hot grease. Stay tuned for my next presentation, because what Ankh does, he puts the canvas out there and he lets us full in the details. So my next presentation is going to answer that question. We're going to dig into natural philosophy, because there's an evolution too. Ankh, he kept you all right there. So now we're going to examine exactly what that philosophical ground was and how that it wasn't sufficient. It wasn't there yet. The Greeks wasn't there yet. They weren't there yet. They started the conversation of philosophy, though. And again, thanks to the Energizer Bunny, that we can carry the conversation on from that point. So now we're delving into natural philosophy. I'll just lay the groundwork. Now, next episode, I'm going to fill in some of those details. We're not at methodological naturalism yet. Since y'all want to do this, we're going to actually do this. We're going to do the complete academic rigor. We're going to take y'all there. So now your Blackology is going to be on overload, because now we're talking about Greeks. Now we're getting into natural philosophy. And from there, you're going to see the inevitability of methodological naturalism. Ankh just gave y'all a hint. World travel. World travel. Think about it. World travel. But beautiful. We doing our thing. We doing our thing. Once you put us in the necessity to go there, we can go there. And like you said, we the A side. We always leading the conversation. And y'all behind the ball by years. By years. We were talking about this over 3.5+ years ago. Time y'all catch up.
Time to catch up. Joe, man, Pseudo Killer. What's good with you, man? What's up, man? How you doing, man? I hope you're enjoying the day. What's good?
Yeah, man, it's lovely here, man. Look like it done hit 75 degrees out this piece. I'm loving it, man. So look, check this out, man. Hey, that was a good show y'all did last night. But hey, you know, I got a question for you, because you just made a light bulb go off in my head. So you were talking about the school, right?
Yeah.
So are we doing? Yeah, hey, are we doing the same thing with the word school that we did that they doing with science?
I said the Egyptians had institutions. They shit was better like that.
Okay.
But it was I remember Thales ain't writing no books and shit. This shit was be thy thither. Egyptians was the rigor. Look. Their shit was, the stars, the clouds, I think. Yeah, he was be thy thither. And Cedric gonna get in that. The be thy thither, yo, was better than the rigor. Non-changing your position. Because you don't want to mess up the universe, right? Don't mess up the Mayat. Don't you dare take them spells off that motherfucker. Don't you do it. Memorize this. Right? Go back and listen to it again, bro. No, the shit wasn't set up with the Egyptians. No, it wasn't. They had an institution, bro. They had institutionalized the gods. They had institutionalized the language, writing. They had institutionalized the administration. That's why Egypt was so great and well organized. They had institutionalized technology and math. You get that? And engineering, bro. Yeah, but go ahead.
No, okay. I just wanted some clarification on that. Okay.
Yeah, they'd be dumb to choose. At that point, you'd be dumb to choose the Egyptians, the daggone Greek school. He was out there howling, screaming, yo. But what he was howling, screaming was the point. You get it?
Right.
Yeah. So the early, and I'm going to get into it in my next presentation, but the early philosophical schools in Greece were primarily theological. So how did the gods did it? Why did God did it? Was God intelligent to do it this way? Why did God do it that way? It was all make 'em up. We looked out there and it was our intuition. And I had a superior intuition because I could have do the Gish Gallop better than Ankh. So whatever I came up with is what stuck. Remember, according to early philosophy, if there was something on the other side of the world would be preposterous. These people would be walking upside down. Completely logical. Completely logical. If something is heavier, it will fall faster. Aristotle, completely logical, right? But wrong nonetheless. So this is where the Greek philosophy held the charge for so long until we realized, but wait a minute, Aristotle don't know what he's talking about. Again, forced change in philosophy and approach to things. Again, science is a philosophy, folks. You get your PhD is a doctor in philosophy. This is about how you think, process information.
This is how you think, yo. It is. Let's see. People in the chat say, put up the scientific method. This show ain't even about the scientific method.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, ain't there yet.
We ain't there yet.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't read the history of the scientific method, though. Always,
you started right there.
Magic, reason, and experience. Y'all weren't ready for it. Here you go. Magic, reason, and experience. I can go right to what they say about the Egyptians in here. Like, y'all don't read. See, I don't just read the Wikipedia. I get the books and look at it, yo. You can get right into the Egyptians, yo. And he just talk about
how
how
they're not trying to understand this. Because if they was trying to understand it, they would come up with the same stuff that I'm coming up with. I don't have that book on, but I'm still coming up with the fact that in order to use that word science to refer to cultures of all days, you're gonna have to be dealing with a hypothesis, testing, retesting, reviewing it. You see what I'm saying? Just simply, gaining knowledge and the understanding of your world around you. It's going beyond that. They're going beyond that.
It's got to be institutionalized, though. It can't be one guy did it. You get it? Okay. Like, that's not an institute. One guy ain't gonna cut it. Because when he died, then what?
Right, and then if it's one guy, who are you gonna send it off to for them to try those results and see if they come up with the same thing?
Yeah, it's got to be institutionalized. That's how we do business. That's not how the Egyptians did business.
Yeah, but in the early days of the philosophers, it was authoritative. It was that way because Aristotle said it. It was that way because Teleos said it. Right? So that the level of empiricism, we weren't there yet. Epistemology was authoritative and not necessarily based on the evidence. This is where thinkers like Hume and Kant started to challenge this old traditional way of thinking. Right? You need evidence to support that claim. How do you support that position? What makes that valid, right? And now you see again scientific method, aspects of testing, of verification comes back into the equation, elements which we see earlier on, right? We remember the whole conversation about the Islamic golden age and their reproducibility and their production of instruments. Now that comes back later on. It is a unification of systems from around the world. We've said that world travel led to the inevitability of methodological naturalism. But at this point, strictly authoritative, it is that way because Aristotle said so. It is that way because Theo said so. So we're not there yet.
See, that's so easy for me to understand. You know what I'm saying?
No. Only because you've been around everybody talking like that.
No,
only because you was the guy that. Let me finish.
Okay.
Yo, you was the one in your circle doing that though, bro. Did you forget? You the outlier. You're an outlier. You're not the norm.
That's true.
Think about it. So it was easy for you to get around a bunch of niggas. Let me stop. It was easy to get around a bunch of people who thinking that way. You get it? Like that wasn't nothing for you. That would have been like a fish out of water for people in your circle to get around us, atheism. You get it? Like what?
Yeah.
They thought they were going to hell, bro. Yo, they would actually go home and be like, yo, I can't be around this. But tell a wife, I ran into this group, yo. I don't, honey, I think I don't want to go to hell. You get it?
Right.
You already conquered that in your brain. You don't think you're going to hell. You think you're just learning something. That's not easy, bro. People think they're going to hell, man.
No. I'm not trying to say it is. Okay, I guess. Okay, let me say the point. You're correct. But the point that I was going to make is that the things that we're talking about right now, when we start talking about experiments and like right now the explanation to what you're doing and exploring it to make it make sense. Like when I dive into what the older cultures were doing, I do not see that there. That's the point that I'm saying.
Right.
It's not there. So I mean that should be a very easy demarcation for people. When they have the aha moment where they say, well, oh yeah, okay, I got what they saying. Okay, this piece was missing. Not that these people wasn't doing some super duper stuff and that people didn't grab a hold of the super duper stuff they was doing and regurgitate it. It's just that they took this super duper stuff and tried to and not try, but started digging into why is this actually taking place? Like that should be easy for people. That's the point that I'm saying. Like I can't go back and find these methods of practice in those old cultures. I just can't. This is within the last couple hundred years. I just can't find it before then. And what I'm saying is, why is that part? So I get the information part that you're talking about, and like information bias. People surrounding themselves with people who regurgitate the same info. I get all that. But what I'm saying, even when they get alone and they by themselves, and they say, oh, I'm gonna prove I'm wrong. I'm gonna go find out where the Egyptians wrote down their tests, and they wrote it out. And then they go look for that and they say, well, God dang, I can't find it. So come on.
Yeah, then the black guy.
Oh, like Chef trying to hit us with the okie doke. He like, yeah, man, they did peer review it and they got that. And when he goes sit down and he find out what their so-called peer review is, and he look at what we doing, you can't tell me he don't have an aha moment like, oh snap. It's not the same. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's not. But he don't care though. See,
okay.
He don't care.
All right, so that answers the question. Some folks don't care. All right, I'm going back on mute. I got you.
What's up, King J? I'm trying to figure out where you fall at, King J. I done heard you a little bit, seem like you ain't figured it out. I tried to drop your olive branch. Tried to give you my email. You're hiding. I think you can get that.
I got the number. I gave you my number. I got your line. I ain't.
That was you?
Yeah, it's a 248 number if it's me.
I ain't see that.
It's a 248. Yeah, I think I did. I text you and said this Jay locked me in.
Nope, you must have did that with guy. Nigga, you ain't hit me with that shit.
Okay.
Gotta do it again.
Yep, for sure. I'll get it. You that day when you and Yara was on the panel.
Oh yeah, I thought the shit. Jay, let me see. Oh, I don't know. Do it again.
I'm finna do it right now.
Yeah, do it right now. Let me see. Right, send it down.
But just chilling, family, just trying to,
What do you think about the conversation, bro? Because I'm, we drawing them lines, bro. And I'm saying that debate you did, yo, I don't think you need to go back and look at that debate again, bro.
I want you to go review it on the channel.
I am. That's what I'm gonna do.
I want you to do a review on
it. Your black algae made you think that you made some wrong points you didn't think. You didn't.
Well, see, the only problem that I see, when people got mistaken when I was talking about the ethnoscience, right?
That was fun. Listen.
Okay.
No, the ethnoscience is the study of the knowledge of
the cultural lens. Yeah, right. That's what I was trying to frame.
But sometimes they use it the way you tried to use it. Don't even worry. That's not the point, bro. Okay. The fact that you mentioned that word showed that you won. Yeah, and that's what I said. Now, and I said this. I really think I beat him up. I ain't gonna lie, brother. And the fact that you're a science guy, if Unc would have said I lost, I knew I would have lost. Because the fact that you were able to even be like, look, bro, I see where you messed up at. Let me pick up the fight and that let me know that I was on the right path, brother. When the brother
talking, hey King Jay, I gotta be honest with you. You didn't beat him up, man. You dragged him.
Ragdolled.
Yo, like ragdoll. You really put on display where his ignorance of the subject is at.
Okay.
You went over your own head.
I don't even think he understood the points you were making.
Nope.
You didn't catch it.
Jay, you went over your own head. I think in studying for that debate, you went over your own head. Meaning,
I learned some things.
Yeah. You haven't even caught up. Sometimes when we study, we go over our own head and got to catch up to the shit we put down there. But that's what happened to you. You kind of stunned yourself like, you really did, bro. I swear, yo, because our black algae will light up, yo. Yeah, I mean, you kind of, and you, I don't. It don't matter what round you thought you was talking about.
Yeah. It
didn't matter.
I didn't even get to the meat and potatoes of what I got to.
You glad you didn't. So. You only needed the one thought you transmitted, bro. Yeah, you put it. Yeah, we're gonna review it.
But see, this is what I don't understand, brother. And this is just from the conversation we've had, after with brother Reggie, and he's like, I don't think, I think they're trying to change the definition of the word science, because when you ask them what they're describing, like, to me, I'm at the point to where if the variable has any subjectivity to it, then the equation is you know what I'm saying?
It's not that.
It's not science, yeah.
No, it don't gotta be though, because look at China, look at Egypt, look at the civilization that reached the height without all that.
Exactly.
At a certain point, you got to start recognizing ancient wisdom and what it was, man. It was.
They had technology. They had technology. They had engineering. They had empiricism.
Right. Okay. What more you niggas don't even know they had? They ain't even
They had a team.
They ain't even know. Bro, people ain't.
STEM. They had everything without the S. They had a team.
Right. They had a team.
They had a STEM. They had the TEM.
They had the TEM.
They had TEM.
Yeah, they had art. They had art. They had a team.
That's team. That's what we say. That's enough, yo, to have one of the greatest civilizations known. They don't get that, yo.
They had trial and error for sure.
But black algae never studied it from that way. Black algae studied it from the religious part, remember? Black algae never gave us the in-betweens.
I don't, and honestly, I don't think they got over the wolf bomb. Like, that point alone, I don't think they got over that point alone when they were trying to bring up the Shango bomb. And at the same time, simultaneously, in the Czech Republic, we have the wolf bomb. So
I think what's that? What is that? 26,000? What is that?
33,000 BC.
33,000? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, around that time period.
Yeah.
So it's just showing that this is, everybody got the same amount of fingers. We're gonna count. We're gonna use tally marks. You know what I'm saying? So that's not.
They ignored it. They ignored that. See, remember? Hold on. They're in the age-old tradition where older is better. First is renowned.
Correct.
Get it?
Yeah.
Where in science, first ain't always better.
It's always a refinement process.
It's who refines and matures the idea. You get that, right? But that goes against your blackology.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Universal concepts, for sure.
Yeah. So science is actually human endeavor, yo. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that last piece of Finding America, luckily, was a piece that made them go against the ancient authority. The scribes, at the House of Wisdom didn't go against it.
Right.
The ancient authority. The Egyptians didn't go against the ancient authority. Yeah, I mean, the medieval times, they didn't go against it. Yeah, Bacon and them went against it completely. Like, yo, you tripping if you do that.
Yeah, 2,000 plus years later.
Man, 2,000 years later. Yeah, they're like, them niggas don't know. They can't know. They ain't know about this flora. Yeah, I mean, they don't know about that.
I mean,
even said you made it up. I don't believe you. You made it up. Prove it.
Yeah. Now they coming with this new, what are they trying to call it? Quantum physics, quantum.
Who? Reggie?
No, not Reggie. Not Reggie. It's a lot of it's some pseudoscience going around, and they trying to quantum physics. It might have been Cosmon, one of them little
no, we even ain't doing that.
Yeah.
We even ain't doing that. So we have Newtonian physics, and we have quantum physics. However, it is part of modern science. The same methodology is applied. We are doing the exact same thing, but on a much more refined and deeper level, right? Because our instruments allow us to look is allowing us to look more and more at the infinitely small, whereas astrophysicists focus on the infinitely big in one aspect. They also focus on the infinitely small on the other aspect, right? So that's where you get the CERN particle collider, right? Where they are.
Is that the Schrödinger equation, or is that not Schrödinger? Or
Schrödinger equations explains the phenomena of randomness in the quantum world, right? Right. I can explain it in the macro world. Wherever you was 6 years ago, January 12th is random until I start to investigate and I collapse the wave function, right? The moment you tell me where you were, now that becomes an actuality. Before I knew that where you was, you could have been everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Because you could have been everywhere meant you were nowhere at the same time. Until I now measure by means of information, where were you at this specific time? Now geography, everything collapses to a single point where you could have been, where you actually were on that date, on that time. That's Schrödinger equation, and they overwhoop that, and the cat is dead and alive. No, the cat is everywhere and nowhere
at the same time. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead and alive. Yeah, because according to that equation, that's what it is.
So it's an indicator of randomness, and it gives you an explanation to solidify that duality of light, right? Being both a particle and a wave at the same time. So that when you look at the double slit experiment, Stoopies, it is not my consciousness interfering with the experiment.
Because they say when you look at it, it changes the
observation, measurement. Now I'm determining where the actuality of the particle is, and that collapses the wave function, right? So now I'm measuring at a particular time, so it's pinpointing that precise place where that particle is within the expansion of the frequency, right? It's moving up and down, and it's moving forward, right? But a particular frequency. The moment I measure it, that point in time, the particular particle was there. It collapses the wave function. Right? It's the art of measurement. It's the same like me asking you, where were you at that particular time?
It's a tool. It's a tool of measurement to make it move.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, and they try to spook it up.
Measure it, right? It move. It's almost like when you put a quarter right in your sofa and you go to grab it, it moves. It falls deep into there, right? Your hand is the tool. You're trying to grab it and it make it move. So whatever instrument you're using, right?
Whatever sensory object,
photons, whatever it is, and it causes that. Yeah, it's not it's not you looking at it to make it. No, that's not, bro.
The actualization, the actual measurement, wanting to determine the actuality of the wave function, collapses it into real time. Okay, at that moment. Right at that point, there's where it is. Right? And that's all it is. It's me collapsing the wave function of your random possibility by measuring. Where were you at this particular time? That collapses the wave function into an actuality. You are at this particular point, right? Geographical coordinate location, boom. This is where that particle, you are in actual time by measuring. That's all it is.
Through sensory observation.
Okay. Yeah, Jay, we're gonna definitely go back over that. But I already know, man, they on the wrong side of history, bro.
Hold on, let me give you my line.
Yeah, let me see that. Yep, and then you gotta come and you got a sword fight, bro. You gotta get in there and throw your ideas out there.
I've been having a lot going on, you know, just been busy with career and shit and just getting shit, but I still make time to, you know what I'm saying.
You sent it? Did you send it?
Hold on. I just giving me everybody in the studio, but I mean, hold on. I still just drop it in.
And stay tuned. Probably tonight. It's a must. We cooking with hot grease, so I do a follow-up on this presentation, which with Ankh today is gonna tie the whole principle together. We cooking with hot grease. We eliminating all the possibilities step by step. Now, again, thanks to Tri-Media and Energizer Bunny, the conversation is now no longer going back to where knowledge and technique. We're not doing that. We're now in the age of philosophy. So now we're examining schools of thought and the evolution therein, or the development therein. I'm not going to use that word evolution, the development therein. So stay tuned. Tonight I'm going to dig into natural philosophy a bit. And remember, we ain't there yet. The Greeks were authoritative. It was so because Aristotle said it, and that lasted for thousands of years. So again, slow, meticulous process. Didn't come up in a vacuum. And now we're going to look at what was that impetus around that scientific revolution. Data.
Yeah, we locked in. Yeah, yeah, come on, man. King J, you have never heard me say disparaging things to what you put forth until you mess it up. Right? You brought people to the table that I didn't know about. Right? And I'm like, damn, I learned that. And I went and seen what the connection was. You get it? Yeah, I don't just discount stuff out of hand.
You talking about Wiseman? For sure, yeah. Like,
of course. You added to my game. I learned that. I don't front. I knew about Wiseman. No, I didn't. I appreciate that. So I'm never doing that. But them pseudos, yo, they not there. They messing up and they stuck. They black algaes in the way, yo, and it mess up the whole playing field. Yo. I'm not giving you credit for nonsense. Why would I push myself back like that?
You wouldn't even do that. I know that much for sure.
I ain't doing that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely appreciate it, bro. And I came to the same conclusion, bro. I watched that debate again. Like the last couple of slides he was putting up had nothing to even do with the debate at all. It was foolishness.
Nigga say cooking was science.
It was foolishness. But yeah, bro. I definitely wouldn't mind y'all.
The environment, those animals were specific, and they had the science of training. They had the science of training. Are you telling me cooking ain't us? But you're dealing with black airbender. This man actually thinks, and the Egyptians understood elements, quote unquote, air, wind, water, and fire. Them folks is not even in this conversation.
Yeah, that's how they know they ain't have signs, yo. They thought the Greeks ain't have signs. They talking about air, wind.
No, not that. Yeah,
get out of here, bro. They gotta stop that, yo. You know what I mean? If they would have had signs, they would have figured out the elements in 4,000 years.
Hey, y'all gotta let me read this.
Also, at this point in time, we're still thinking Earth is the center of the universe, right? We don't get that until Galileo comes along, right? We don't even have the sun being the center of the universe. Or is that what they want to call science? Like, I don't get it, brother. Like, the Egyptians still thought that the mind was the heart.
Try to tell them, man.
Right.
Listen, nigga argued me down yesterday. Go ahead and read that, Joe, because I'm
Let me read this comment. I dropped it in the chat too. Key aspects of science observation: gathering facts about the world, you get a hypothesis, proposing a tentative explanation. Then you do experimentation, testing the hypothesis to check its validity. Then you do evidence, using data to support or reject ideas. Then you still ain't done. Then you got to do repetition. You got to reproduce the experiments to ensure accuracy. Now, once you show me one of them groups doing that, I'm going to say, God dang it, they doing science. Until then, I'm stuck on, just like you said, King J, their knowledge, their cultural knowledge. That's what it is. They were darn good at it. I'm not taking that away from them, but it's cultural knowledge. It is not science. Done.
What is Sunchild talking about? Anyway, can't pay attention. Look, man, we going back live at 5:30. All right. That's how we doing. All right. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Hit that Cash App going out the door. Yeah, I think we got it in 2 hours. That's always good solid for us, man. Appreciate you coming through, King J, man. Hope you keep fighting, man. Now what we doing, brother. And just appreciate your debate. Actually, that debate topic came off of that damn presentation I did. And what's your comment? They're all crazy. And then next thing I know, y'all debating that shit, which was good. It brought more light to it. Now the conversation is everywhere now.
Yeah.
You got the Titans debate lead. I see you. Yeah. They talking about on all fronts. Big channels, small channels, little channels. You know, Jay, that mean we won though, right?
It's a good topic. That's how I feel. Yeah.
In the wheelhouse, I'm just standing there like this. Yeah. Back cage.
Yep.
Yeah. I demonstrated last night that I've been in the batter's box since 3.5 years ago. The Sula Killers were waiting now.
Hold on, they not pitching yo. We in the batting cage. Go ahead, turn up the 80 real quick. Go ahead, turn up the 9. I got it. Pop, pop. That's what's going down. It's happening.
Sula Killers been ahead of the curve. We are the leaders of the community. I demonstrated last night. We have done this subject over 3.5 years ago. We're now refining and adding more details because we just got better of how to do presentations, how we prepare our stuff. But we've been there. This is nothing new. Y'all, the rest of y'all, literally 3.5, almost 4 years behind the conversation.
It's okay. I'm glad they joined the conversation. I'm glad you did that first debate on that topic there, brother. Yeah, that be the you. Let me see. Little niggas. Yeah, we bombed on them. Yeah, we bombed on little niggas. Yeah, y'all know what we doing, man. See y'all. Man, hit the Cash App going out the door. Show some love, man. We're going to have some Cater coming.
Oh, snap. My man. Diego.
Protected by the Black Widow.
Fight for the word of God. Y'all know what it is.
By the Black Widow.
26. Thank you, Keller. Easy bang.
I speak loud on the mic. Knowledge to the loud on the mic. Knowledge to the people. I speak loud on the mic. Knowledge to the people. Where the fuck you been? Bomb little niggas again. We buck the trend. It's been a trend. Poor desert. Eagles again. Never say this line again. Never sipping Heineken. Black Panther riding again. Always on my mind to win. I'm where I'm supposed to been. Black Widow protect me. Feds lose again. Nigga, cheat to win. Dope fiend never win. I speak loud on the mic. Knowledge to the people. Protect the youngsters. We poor desert eagles. Never say this line again. Never sipping Heineken is where I win. Black Panther riding again. When nags break wild, no slack. I'm cutting like an axe. Though can't cut in the tracks. Good juju. Bad juju. Never been in the game, but stay crewed up. We answer beepers, can't be tracked, computer hacked. Protect the weaker, don't wear tattoos. But if I did, it be the reaper. Never say this line again. Let truth be where we begin. Christians talking reckless, claiming we born in sin. Capping, let us begin. Pseudo killers to the rescue again. Never tripping, we teaching STEM. Forces those tripping. Choose again to the pseudos. It's always grim, we play to win. God killer again. Always time to defend. Bet the trend. King souls to the king. If I can't chill and be Ken. Malcolm Finch, those niggas for the win. TED Talk, bitch walk. Fans time enough for them youngins. Space age, Africans. Anthony with the space. And yeah, jump, we smacking them.
Yeah, jump. We smacking them. Look, man, check this out, man. We killing with that science shit, man. Y'all know how we do it, man. I'm your host, Bobby Banger, man. I see you back here around 5:30, man. I'm your host, Bobby Banger. And with that, we are out. Peace.